We're here, folks.
Yeah,
We
don't
are
go away.
here.
We're still here.
Yeah, we're a
We had
little,
to,
couple minutes behind. We had a business meeting.
yeah.
Glad to
Yeah.
see everybody. Damon, how the hell are you?
Tired.
Yeah,
You hard work for 2 days, but it's so good. We good now.
right on, right
Yeah.
on. So, everybody, welcome back to another Foodie show. The one and only Foodie show that's the best. I mean, there's a ton out there.
It's the only one that matters.
Yeah,
The only one
seriously.
you should subscribe to, like, share with your friends.
And remember, this show is brought to you by our dear friends over at Willow Seasoning. That Memphis right there, I'm telling you, folks,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it'll change your life. It will change your
Yeah.
life. Sweet smoke, sweet heat.
Yes.
Feisty lime is insane on beef. That is insane on beef, by the way. So there's the whole lineup.
I'm fixing to try that.
Yeah. Go get yourself some. Thank you, Willow Seasoning. Hey, down here, I'm not sure what happened to it. We had it going.
There it goes.
We had it going, but there's the website, willowseason.com. If you use John Z 2022 or TDN 2023, you can save yourself 10%. So update on the comments. I see everybody. It looks like Robert beat him. It looks like no one beat Robert, but it's untrue. Our buddy Burley did in fact beat Robert. So that is another bottle of seasonings that's coming out. I got you, Burley.
That's right.
Yeah.
Congrats on that, Burley.
That's getting wild, man. It's getting wild.
Yeah. It's always good. It's always good to see that competition amongst everybody.
Yeah. So hey, we got a big guest tonight. She's the original dudette of the Dude Network. The original.
There you go. Nice.
I mean, she's boxed it up on barbecue brawl shows. Took the crown on Netflix, America's Barbecue Showdown.
That she did. Yep.
She's got a few things coming up too. Some big things. Seasonings, a hot sauce out now.
Yep.
I mean, she's all over the map. It's crazy. We got her website, all kinds of stuff to show you guys tonight. The one, the only, Miss Pearly Girl herself, Tina Cannon.
Hey.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, how are you?
How are you doing, Tina?
I'm awesome.
Good.
Yeah. I cooked some ribs this weekend.
Oh
my God.
Beef or pork?
Pork.
Yeah.
I'm in the South.
I know.
Just assume when you talk to somebody in the South, if we say barbecue, even though I cook brisket and all that, but y'all, they were. As a matter of fact, I'm going somewhere competing in a couple weeks in New Orleans, taking that recipe with me.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. We've had this pork beef rib conversation, but as soon as you said, of course, pork, yeah, I'm sorry.
California, y'all are what? What?
Tri-tip?
Yeah, that's it, right?
No, you stop it. See, the one thing about California is we were like the babies to the barbecue scene. So we just took everything that everybody else did, and we're like, oh, well, this is how you should really do it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Whatever. I'm just kidding. I am not going to get all crazy trying to defend California barbecue because
good. So we're not going to talk about fat up or down, right?
No, well, we might. Okay. But it just depends. That all depends, right? What's your opinion on that?
I cook pork butts fat up. And then at competition, I'm fat down. But I'm sure you're referring to as brisket.
Oh, it doesn't matter. No, because there's no brisket, no pork butt. It's just fat cap up or down because that is something people feel a certain way about.
Yeah. I switch up the pork butt depending on what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And brisket, I always do it down. But in competition, though, I trim almost all of it off. So,
Okay.
yeah. So it really wouldn't matter. But at home,
folks.
I put it down.
And most people, we've heard Myron say it all. It's protect the meat from the heat source. Where's the heat source coming from? I get it. It all makes sense. I look, I'm just a baby to all this. I don't know. I cook it up. I cook it down. It just however it lands on the grill, I guess.
That's right. Just throw it up in there.
Whatever way it lands.
I just flip it in there. Oh, we're going down this time. All right, let's go. So what have you been up to lately, Tina?
God, I have so much going on.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Well, I know you mentioned in the intro that I have 3 products, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've got my brine, which I mistakenly not called bird brine. It's really you've used it. You can use it on other things.
It's really good on pork.
Yeah, and you can use it dry instead of salt.
That's what I mean. Like a rub or a seasoning blend.
Exactly. I don't know. I was crazy. I did that, I guess. But then, and then the European blend's doing well. I know your wife loves that, so that's awesome.
I had to just open up another bottle today.
I use that a lot too. And then the hot sauce is doing well. Fresno is that. And, it's 100% Fresno chilies, which are my favorite. Those are my very favorite. And so it's doing pretty well too. I mean, the flavor profile is, the peppers are not smoked. They're made into a mash. And then it has a really good quality smoked paprika. Like a sweet paprika, not that real bitter, And it's good. I'm gonna do some wings with it. I'm taking that with me to the new show on. And I'm going to film that on the 19th.
Oh wow! Okay.
Very shortly, yeah.
I knew it was soon. Didn't know it was that soon. That's right around the corner.
And what's really cool is the finale of the show. Is like June 2nd or 3rd. You got to have a rain day, but is going to be live.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Yeah. So, no room for mistakes.
They ain't no hiding nothing no more.
Yeah.
And they're filming it very quickly, unlike some of the other shows that I've been on.
Yeah.
Like in 2014, I was on a show, they drag everything out. I mean, it's like bam, bam, bam. We're done. They're not stretching it out. They're doing it like in 4 days.
Jeez.
And then we go back for a finale, which is live. And there's a lot of country music performers and things involved in the show.
Yeah.
And we don't even know who everybody is. They haven't told us anything. And I'm a mentor. I'm playing a mentor. So I don't know who I'm mentoring or anything.
So speaking of that, that's very, very crazy that you bring that up, because I thought it was just like another kind of like a show where there was some pro people and then some backyard people, and they were just going to kind of go through a cooking show of whatever competition or learning whatever.
Yeah, this
negative,
really
folks. Yeah, in fact, we have the website. I have the website pulled up, and this thing is it's like a freaking party.
That's true. I'm hoping so.
Like they got bands and stuff. Look at there she is.
Hey.
It's probably a little bit behind, but there's all kinds of bands and stuff or what. I don't know.
It's a really, really different type of show. I mean, it's truly, when I say reality, I mean, there's no script. I mean, I show up literally. I think I have to be on set at 7:30 or 8 in the morning. I don't know who I'm mentoring. I don't know anything. I'm just show up and we do it.
Wild.
So yeah, it's like no practice, no nothing. Here you go.
Yeah, talk about totally different from all the other ones you've done.
Yeah.
Where there's production and they no, we don't like that. Let's do that or whatever.
It's not that way at all.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, what should I bring? And they're like, I think the person that I talked to said, bring anything and everything that you think you might need. I'm like, okay.
All right, I'm gonna bring a whole trailer with me.
Okay.
I mean, they're providing what we cook on and all of that, which I'm not,
okay.
I can look at sponsors and pretty well guess what we're going to have. But, as far as product, so of course I'm going to take my seasoning, a few other I'm just going to take since I get to drive, since it's up toward the Nashville area, I'm just going to fill my car up.
Yeah.
That's right.
Kind of do like that overpack camping trip where
yes, I'm not going to take too many shoes. I'm going to take different, ingredients: limes, lemons, cilantro, onions. I'm just and I'm going to take all my Yeti coolers and sorry, and I'm going to fill them all up with just everything.
That's the best way to do it. That way, just in case you're like,
really weird.
I'm prepared.
Nervous about it. Because I'm like, well, they could give me a freaking hot dog. I hope I have a hot dog bun. You know what I mean? You don't know because it's geared around backyard cooks, supposedly. Yeah. But if you look at that lineup, have you studied? I know you're not.
Dude,
who those people are.
I'm like, huge name mentors.
And they want me, And there's some really, like, if people will Google those people and say they're not in the competition world and see, so it's kind of, we're going to have a lot of comp people there, but with people that are not comp people. So it's going to be really interesting for all of us.
Nice. And that, just so everybody knows, that's on CMT, correct?
No, that's the country music channel.
Nope.
Yeah, it's the other country channel. Get it right.
I can't remember.
TCN.
Yeah,
TCN. That's the one. My bad. Here I go, messing it up. Yeah. Oh no, not the laser guns.
No. So, and the country network. This is going to be like, how a lot of the streaming networks are doing their own shows. Mm-hmm. So they're doing their own shows, and then no, they haven't told me not really to say anything because I don't really know anything.
Yeah.
I do know that they're already in the works for season 2. So I do know that just from general conversation. Hey, this is when you show up. Here's where you're staying. Blah blah. That's really all I know. I know when to report and where to. And that's all.
There you go.
Crazy.
Can't give you any tidbits of information.
Man, that's gotta be, it's gotta be exciting and totally unnerving because it's just so different. Yeah, like what the is gonna happen?
But I kind of get all squirrely like that about even at a contest, and then once everything starts, I get pretty serious. To focus on what I'm doing. So quit that smoking, you wouldn't cough like that.
Nah, I'm surrounded by nothing but almond orchards, and they're in full bloom, and my allergies are just.
I've never smelled almond. Do they?
Hey, I got you almond wood though.
You got more?
I can't send. No, actually, I haven't even been able to get any for myself.
Oh, I loved it. I used it with chicken, and I used it with seafood. I had some fillets of halibut.
Oh,
yeah, it was very good. It had a really nice aroma.
I like it. One thing about almond that's crazy is the longer it sits in and gets seasoned, the harder it gets. And like to where it smokes blades on my big saws.
Nice.
So like it'll like in offsets, if you can get big splits of it, it's really good burning wood.
The olive wood that when I was on the Netflix show, that's the first time I ever got to cook with olive wood.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it.
I'm still one dude. So on that, I found it. This guy had a bunch of those peach tubs, and it's all trimmings from an olive orchard. Blah blah. I'm like, no way. So I hit him up. Yes, you can come get some. Cool. Where are you located? Lodi. Okay. Where? Silence.
Oh God.
And I'm just like, hey, can I come get this weekend? Yes. Okay, can you tell me where it's at? Lodi.
That's a huge place, huh?
So
But I tell you, it feels different than just the wood I'm familiar with, and it's like almost feels like furniture. It's like almost like it's finished, and I loved it. If that ever goes on the market, I don't know, of course, if it would not in the barbecue competition world, but
yeah.
everything at home and
That's what I was gonna say. Everything you're doing at the house.
do what?
No, I was saying that you can use it at the house.
Oh yeah, I use a
Yeah.
lot of different stuff, here.
Yeah,
And
I'm like a junkie for trying different woods. I love that so much.
I like to
Anytime I can get a different fruit or nut wood, I'm like, yeah, let me get some. So
start it with one thing, finish it off with another. That's what I like to do. The wood that I use. I don't know if you looked at my website. It's called Smoke, SMOAK. I've known her for years. She used to sell firewood out in front of her grandparents' house. She's a few years younger than me, not 10 years, but a few years younger. And so I feel it's so weird that connected again several years ago, because I think I've been using her wood for like, I don't know, 12, 14 years, something like that. And what's so weird, I mean, she's in the same county as I am. I can just drive over there and get a load. When I cook hogs, I mean, that's what I use her wood. And you can get it there in California too.
yeah,
This is
she ships everywhere.
yeah, she ships there. It's
Yeah.
like so weird, like how you run across people again,
That's crazy that she started it in front of her grandpa's house, and then now it's a huge on. That's
Yeah.
that's awesome.
She's got 3 big kilns up there that where they put it in, and several full-time employees, and she's there daily too. I mean, she's really there. It's not like,
Yeah,
here, go pack this and send it out.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
It's in Harrelson. Well, Sonoa and Harrelson are 2 small towns that come together. And matter of fact, they don't film Walking Dead there anymore, but they would park in her areas, where she's got clear land when they were filming.
Oh wow, that's
She
crazy.
got to see all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, all that hoopla going on.
Yeah, and it was.
Well, hey, we're gonna do a quick comment recap. This one because it's been a hot debate with the dudes lately. This one's brought to you by Feisty Lime from Willow Seasoning.
Feisty.
Hey, I'm telling you, on beef, it's money, people. It is money.
I have to try that on beef. I haven't.
Oh, it's I the first time I did, I was like, man, whatever. I'm just gonna go for it, and I threw it on a ribeye and was insanely surprised.
Yeah.
It's really good on tri-tip or flank or skirt steak for like.
I was thinking, maybe some skirt steak. Yeah. I would like that.
Big K, what's
Big
up?
K.
Raging Pillage says, yo,
Burley.
Everybody saying what's up to the fellas. Hey, yo, what's up, everybody?
Tracy.
Masshole. Barbecue 27, badass, not just a dudette. Tina's not just a dudette. She is
legit.
Yeah, legit. Like shows, comps, seasonings, sauces, it's like yeah, we're gonna get to some of that.
Tailgate tours.
A message from the dude himself. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Please help us out. Give this broadcast a like and share. Oh boy, fat cap up. Anything else is wrong, fight me. Easy there, Lucy. Oh, that's what I mean. Yeah. See, Ricky Moore, what's up? The Southern Belle herself.
Ricky.
Good evening, y'all. What's up? All right. That's good enough for now.
You got a lot of people commenting.
Yeah, there's. Okay. There it is. The Country Network. Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Country Network. Got it. Hopefully, I won't make that mistake again. I can't guarantee it because I'm still an idiot sometimes. Okay. So we got a good friend here, T. Carmack. We're gonna get one question in right here for Tina.
Okay.
Tina, whether you are smoking at home or in competition, do you prefer to smoke using one type of wood or a blend of woods at one time? If so, why? Which you kind of touched on, but go ahead.
All right. In it kind of depends on where I'm competing too, but in competition, I typically use almost all pecan. And that's been in the last few years. Several years ago, I'd used cherry. Anyway, I'm almost strictly pecan. And like if it's not smelling, or when I do a taste test quite smoky enough, or I'll tack it up with sauce, I'll throw just a little bit of hickory in competition, because when they open that box and they get that aroma, you know,
You
I
want
want
to
to, you know, I compete on a gravity fed. So sometimes it's not as smoky as people on a stick burner. So what I'll do is I'll hit it with some hickory in the very end while I'm tacking up sauce, just to get that aroma.
Okay, yeah.
Because remember, they're eating how many samples, how many, so you just a little bit of edge. That's at home though. You know, I typically will, same thing. I'll cook with pecan and finish with something else. But yeah, I mean, I switch up like you though. You know, I'll do cherry on a turkey or something like that.
That's same, very much the same.
I love question.
Yeah. So speaking of, I believe, man, I should have named these, so I'm not such a. No, this is the right one, I believe. Yes. I gotta turn these down because I can't remember if they have music or not. Sorry, Tina. But then YouTube won't let us play our show. So look.
Oh, you're showing some of my pictures.
Yeah, here's a whole hog. Now this is one of your classes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tina teaches whole hog classes. And is this at your place, or is this somewhere?
No, that's here. I have.
That's at the canning compound.
That's right. It's at the compound here. Yeah.
So go through that. Like, tell us about how you got started doing that and how that's going for you.
Well, it's going well because there's so many people that want to learn. I mean, it's a lost art, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I like people to, you know, carry it on. But, you know, I started teaching the classes because after the Netflix show, it made it appear that I could not or did not know how. You know, they can. When people are so. I mean, it's just. It's TV, y'all.
No, I know. Yeah.
People take it literal. Now, true, I had not built a pit. I had not built one on my own. And I took a lot of about that. So that's why after the show, I actually videoed myself and made some posts of them watching me build it, you know.
There you go.
It's just hard to get rid of that stereotype. So I thought, you know, I'm just going to teach classes. You know, and some people, I mean, it's a lot of money to do a hog class, but I think came just to see if I really could. And now it's turned to, I want to take that class because I have one coming up in April. I don't know if you know that. April 21st. It's a 2-day class, and I've changed the format recently. We still do a hog, but what I'm doing, there's a lot of downtime when you cook a hog. You know, what do you do? In a class, you know, if they want to bring drink, they can. But to me, why not take advantage of that time and learn how to cook something else, right?
Boom.
So while we're doing that, the new format, rather than me just cooking and have meals ready for you, you know, we're actually going to, you know, do something on my egg because, you know, I'm an ambassador for them.
That's right.
And that's, you know, we'll cook other things so they can learn other skills while we're cooking a hog, you know.
Dude, what?
So I added that. Actually, Glenn Zobel, I hope that's how you say his name, was a student of mine, and he is a barbecue hua. You know what I mean? Hua. He takes a lot of classes from everybody.
I am a barbecue hooer as well.
Okay. It was his suggestion because there was so much downtime because we pretty much focused on, you know, just the hog. And I thought, well, you know, I want people to get their money's worth, right? So why not go ahead? I got to feed them anyway. So let's all learn how to, you know, cook pork butts competition in home style, or let's, depending on what time of year it is. So, we cook dessert, side dish, everything while we're waiting on the hog to be for lunch. And then the second day is when we cook the hog. Then we have the hog for dinner, and we all prepare different side dishes, usually traditional barbecue, items. But so I introduced that to this class as a suggestion from a student, and I thought, that was smart. Why didn't I think of that?
I know, like, dang it.
So that's coming up April 21st, but I really only do 2 a year. I don't like to do, unless it's a private class, I will. But, living in the South, we have lots of varmints, and I live kind of out in the boonies. So I don't, some people gross out. I mean, there's spot. You start taking meat outside in 80, 90 degree weather, and it's like,
impossible. Yeah.
So I don't usually do it. And we do have cold snaps in April, but so I don't like to do it later than April unless it's a private class. And I explain that to people, and then I do one in the winter too.
I'll never understand how people don't get it. Like, you've never been anywhere in the outdoors and like took food out.
Yeah,
it happened, but whatever.
But a lot of I have the last class I had 2 or 3 women in it, and they were actually better than some of the guys have been. Freaking out over that. I was thinking, oh Lord, you know what I mean. But and then I do a hog roast at my house every year on New Year's Day, and I have a lot of people come. And a lot of people come early because they want to watch and see what you do.
Yeah.
They don't realize I've been doing this since yesterday, y'all. But so I have. I cook more than hogs than the 2 classes, for events, But you can't have a fan strong enough. So when you're injecting, it's going everywhere.
Right.
I just stick to the better times of the year, So guess where I'm going next week? Well, unless y'all want to ask questions about the class.
Hey, where are you going next week?
Yeah, this show's about you and us just hanging out.
Well, y'all know, I told y'all I was a Big Green Egg ambassador, but Monday I'm flying to San Antonio for a big event. It's a big show with Big Green Egg. Nice. And what I think there's 4 of us invited out of all of the Big Green Egg ambassadors, and we cook for like all the people that are there, distributors, some from Europe, everywhere come in.
Oh, that's a big deal.
And we get to cook for all of them. And, it's kind of, I'm flattered. I mean, how many people are on Team Green?
Yeah,
right?
there's a bunch of you eggers out there. So,
and I was cool. I want to go. And we're staying right on the river walk there. And one night they kind of entertain us, and then we get to cook for all the people. And I come back, a few days later. And then guess what? I'm home, let's see, 3 days. 3 days. And I had to film the show.
That's what I was going to say. Then the show starts.
Yeah. Oh, man. I didn't even put that together.
And then guess what?
Zoom.
I come back from filming the show. 2 days later, I go to an event in New Orleans. It's a large charity event that I cook with every year. It's called Hogs for the Cause.
Yeah.
And it raises money for pediatric brain cancer.
Nice.
And I don't know if, I think I've told a couple people this. Why I do that event is I spent some time in New Orleans where I was a chef, and my chef there, the executive chef when I worked there, lost his son, 4 years old, to pediatric brain cancer. And I saw what it did to he and his wife split up. She was a pastry chef. And then it was just, it financially also ruined them and emotionally.
Oh, yeah.
And then he ended up taking his life. He just couldn't deal with it. So it's kind of my way of feeling that, I'm giving back to that, somebody that really influenced my career in the culinary industry. So I go and I cook with a team called Piggy Stardust.
Yeah.
They actually don't cook. I do all of the competition meat. And last year we were like, not even a point away from winning pork.
Yeah.
Dang it. And I can't remember. I was in the teens, 13th or 15th in hog, which is 93 teams. So.
Yeah, that's
good.
it's not,
and 100% of the proceeds goes, to that charity.
That's awesome.
That, like if I had won, there's no money.
Yeah.
It's everything that gets raised. So I should have thought to give you that link to Hogs for the Cause, Piggy Stardust's link. So in case anybody wanted to contribute at all.
I will get that. I'll get that from you this week or whatever.
I should have thought about that, but I'm such not technical that I just thought about when I was saying, you could have. I just see your posting at the bottom. I could have put it there. I mean, I'm sure if you look up Hogs for the Cause and the same Piggy Stardust, which anybody my age, or would know what that's referring to. But for you young people, it's a character that David Bowie, hopefully y'all know who he is.
Yeah.
Did some music in that particular character for a while.
Okay.
Kind of an androgynous character. He'd probably be real big right now.
Oh, unbelievable, I'm sure.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
About that.
Yes, amen.
And then I come back from that, and like on April Fool's Day, I think I come back. But anyway, then I have my class, and during all this, I will still cook all of my meals for Meals on Wheels.
Yeah. So yes. Also, yes. While she's doing all of this extravaganza stuff, yes. Tell us all about that. Because that's like you do that. That's you. That's who you are. That's what you do regular. No matter what.
There's a lot of different charities out there, and the ones that I choose to associate myself with is they've either touched me or I feel it's important. So, the elder community, guess what? We're all going there, right? All of us. We've already been kids. That's over. So let's move on. And it's just, especially after COVID, so many elders in need. So last year it was just under 53,000 meals I cooked all by myself in a year. So
there's video evidence, folks. If you don't think if you want to be
a lot of food, and but often our delivery drivers, that's the only people they see. Their families have forgot them, or they've outlived them, or whatever. And my mom used to deliver when I was a child for Meals on Wheels, and that I always had remembered, going with her and seeing what that they did, and that's the only meal some of these people get. That's it.
Yeah, that's
it.
That's so wild.
And that and here I'm chubby, and we have people that can't, and our people can't shop or cook for themselves, so we take it to them. It's a whole volunteer organization,
which is really incredible, because there's a lot of places that have a service like that, but I mean, let's talk about quality. It's like
they don't have a chef. They use more hospital type food, but
yes.
Yeah, I go to the food bank, so I have to, whatever is available, I make the best out of what I can. Luckily, that's kind of my niche, to be able to give me this, that. I come up with something,
Right.
On the Meals on Wheels, they have a Facebook page. They don't have Instagram. I don't know. And every now and then I'll post a few things. I don't do it as much of the dishes that I cook for them. I mean, like tomorrow we're going to have, I'm trying to think what I have on the menu. I think like meatloaf, mashed potatoes, things like that. And I do all kinds of stuff. So we'll have Mexican day and breakfast and Italian food. And, and I try to, when it's a holiday, like for Easter, matter of fact, a fellow competitor actually donated all of the hams for that. Competition, his Claude's Q here in Georgia. Great guy, and he lives in Alpharetta. He's also a police officer there, But he donates to us regularly because I've known him for years.
Wow.
He was at his first contest. He said I was the only person that talked to him. I'm like, really? You know, and we've been friends ever since. Every time I have an event, he comes. And he lives quite a long way from me. That's like a few hours away, but he provided the hams for us for Easter, so it's nice that we can have ham for everybody.
Yeah,
Except for the people that don't eat it, and we accommodate that. Because we do have people that don't eat ham. We'll have chicken or something for them.
Well, and the other thing that's wild is I'll see you spatchcocking 20, 30 chickens for that some days, and she puts them all down and.
I bought a Sawzall at Thanksgiving because I had Cargill Meats as a company that's like right down the street from us donated all of our turkeys, but they were all over 20 pounds.
Huge.
Yeah, they were big birds.
I'm 5'2".
Huge.
I'm not. I'm 5'2" and 60, so I'm not as strong as I used to be. So I went to the big box store and I said, I need the highest wattage or whatever you got. And the guy goes, what are you going to do? And I go, do you really want to know? So after I got it all finished, I went back to that store and showed him the pictures, the video. He goes, you were not kidding. But it was the only way I could have got all of that done. Luckily, a couple
heck yeah.
And help us pull the meat from the bone because our people can't eat it on a bone.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of turkey meat.
That is a lot. There's no. If I had to spatchcock those by scissors, my hands would be crazy.
Oh no! That big of a turkey, you would have to be like a muscle mania guy. You couldn't do it. But normally I don't have anybody help in the kitchen, but I had to call some volunteers in for that particular event. Big holidays like that, there's usually a few of the volunteers, or my mom will come often when we have something like that. They're not used to cooking on that, but I can say, pull all the meat off the bone. They can do that,
That's right.
But it was gratifying though, because I got so many people that will tell their drivers that deliver the meals how much they enjoy it, and that makes me feel really good.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Really good that that. Because that could be your grandparents, or great.
Yeah, exactly.
Very much true.
So I don't want anybody to be without a good meal where they can sit down and, not have to worry for that minute, I don't have any other skills. So I'm going to take that skill and run with it.
Right?
Absolutely.
For sure. So we don't have any questions.
Yes, we do.
Oh,
We do. So I got to get
I'm an open book.
Oh, wait. Oh, hold on.
No,
Okay. Nope.
Not that one. That's bad.
So Lucy said that a super solid thing to do. People need to learn the whole hog art.
Yes.
So talking about your classes and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And I cook my hog on a block pit, more of the traditional way. Make my own charcoal with wood and all of that. Because you can get these automated systems now, and I'm not knocking that. I'm really not.
Yeah.
But I enjoy being outside, and I like teaching it to people. Like if it's the Boy Scout, Scout troop coming over, whatever. And and doing that type of things. I also have a large garden, and I like to show kids that. I don't have
to get to that too.
I have a big one, and any overages goes to Meals on Wheels. I just donate everything that I can't eat that big of a garden, so I take it into Meals on Wheels. So there's one of my picket. Good Lord, you've been stalking me,
Gina. I've been following you for a long time.
And I grow flowers and lots of herbs. I have an herb garden. Matter of fact, when we got a new building at Meals on Wheels, we have a guy that kind of mows the yard and does all that. He's 80, okay.
Jeez.
He planted me an herb garden.
What a stud!
That's right.
Yeah, I was so I can pick the fresh herbs to cook with because they have a lot. They have nutritional value people don't realize. So anything that I can sneak in there to get more nutrition and better flavor,
Yes.
I'm gonna do it.
So actually, you did a video last year, about the bees weren't pollinating your pumpkins, and so you were doing and I had the same problem. No bees were coming in my backyard, so I was like, man, how are we gonna? Like, we had some cucumbers that grew into each other, so they pollinated themselves. But you
So
helped save my garden last year.
Yeah. Did you take a little Q-tip?
Yep.
Put it together. There's a couple ladies that I know that have some hives, and they're moving. They're retiring, and they are moving, and they're gonna. Now I'm allergic to bees, but they're gonna bring their hives and park them here on my property because you've got several acres here. And that I shouldn't have a problem in my garden if they're going to move them here. I think.
No, I wouldn't think so.
It's got to be pretty short, and then they'll come and collect and do all that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go near it.
No,
if I get stung, I'll be laid out there down by my barn. Nobody's got to know. Unless they smell me a mile down the road or whatever. But so they're going to and I think that will help too. Make sure. Because I'm in the middle of the woods, sort of here. You would think I wouldn't have any pollination problems. And I always plant some flowers. You saw in that picture. I always plant some flowers, but I couldn't get those I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, the bees were low here too. I don't know, it was just weird. But
maybe
we're gonna
the spray.
Yeah, here we go. We're starting with some questions from the
okay.
So, Tina, in your personal life, how important is a good butcher to have, even though you can butcher it all yourself every which way? The reason I ask is because, for the most part, the butcher trade is fading in the U.S. And this seems to be a problem with T-Mac because he brings it up a lot. And I agree. Like, as far as just hometown butcher shop, that you can find all those cuts that you want. I mean... I got to drive. They're around, but I got to drive and find them.
Oh yeah, luckily we do have a couple places here in Noonan, which is amazing in this little town. But traditionally, like in the South, we don't have if you go to say New York City, right? You wouldn't believe there's butchers in Manhattan, because it's the culture of it. I think maybe in the South. Traditionally, a long time ago, we did do all of our own, butchering. And I think it's never caught on as much here, especially on my side of town. But luckily, we do have two in the area that are excellent. I'm just too cheap. I'm just keeping it real, y'all. So I do trim a lot of my own meats down. And but if I want something specific, because I can't cut that off of that side or it's not available, I definitely call, and they're local, and they've actually donated to Meals on Wheels too. So I try to do business locally.
Man, that's
awesome. Publix grocery, I don't know where he's from, but Publix grocery store, they actually have real butchers, and they usually will cut what you want. And we also have a small grocery store called, and they have real butchers. And when I need something, I often will call them, because I love pork steaks and I don't have a saw. I don't,
Yeah, you got to have a big bandsaw to cut.
And they will cut them there for you, or they'll cut whatever. So I try to do locally, and it is a lost art because, I'm not sure why. I wish I knew why, but maybe the culture, people, like chicken. I know how many people I know that won't eat chicken on a bone.
I don't understand.
I don't know, or they don't like steaks on a bone. God, I prefer everything on a bone. I think it's better. Yeah, but that's people like it to be easy and.
I think that's what it is.
It's easy.
It's lazy. I can just go to the store. It's already prepackaged. It's in this nice little size for me.
Yeah. You can take it straight out and put it right in and go.
There's no weird bones.
I'm hoping though, since maybe it's who I follow on Instagram. that people will start, they're starting to be aware of what's put in a lot of these processed, even though they're not, but steaks, whatever, what's done to it. I'm hoping that, everything comes in full circle and it changes, but I hope that it does before we lose people that know how to do that. Because there's not like in these stores that I'm talking about locally that do it, they're like my age. They're not young people. I'm sure that there is some.
No, there are, but there's not every store, grocery store, butcher. There's not. I don't see very many younger guys in there learning.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
not in my area at all.
Yeah, mine either. Too much.
Mine either.
So this is a good question, and it's what's going to help us plug your seasoning or seasonings. Tina, how much do you cook with international flavors at home when doing barbecue?
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I don't traditional barbecue I'm not competing as much because I'm busy doing other things. But like when we would compete, we didn't want to eat that. We just didn't, because you're in the smoke all, and it's, you're there every weekend competing and, it's like, you're done. But now that I'm not competing as much, I tend to I cook those ribs I was telling you about.
Yeah.
And I kind of cooked them a little bit differently than what I normally do. And, we tore them up. They were good. I mean, so I branch out. I cook all types of food because I'm not, people think, oh, you're a Southerner, you eat beans and cornbread all the time, but which I like it. But, but I cook them I cook Korean food. I cook Thai food.
Yes.
Last week I've had Italian, Thai. I think I did Mexican, Cuban, I mean, in 1 week, I at least visited at least 4 countries.
So this may help answer the question a little bit. Let me share my screen real quick.
My European blend?
Yeah, this is Tina's own website, tinacanoncooks.com, and this is her seasoning blend right here. Hopefully you guys can see it.
Got it.
Okay. I know there's like a tiny bit of a delay, but there is all kinds of stuff that I was not used to cooking with in this. And it all comes in this nice little blend for you.
And it's only 20 milligrams of sodium. People go, woo, $10 a bottle, but it's 20. You can add your own salt. And I did have with my blender a little, a chat about that, because everybody's got salt, right? And what you like, how much you like versus how much I like versus how much you like,
That's right.
Different. So I wanted to make sure that it was full of really good, flavorful ingredients. And John, I know you know it because you use it. And then you add your own salt or don't. If you don't want salt, don't add it. I use salt with it, but it reminds me, and I think I might have said this on Tony's show before, but it reminds me of like when I lived in Europe, I was in school. When you go to the shops there, people shop very differently, at least that many years ago. They buy their own spices and they mix up things. Just what it smelled like when I walked in a spice store, herbs and spices, and when I was in France. And it was like, it just hit me. And so I started making it up. And on the Netflix show, that's what I made up to do the ribs.
Okay.
And I think I did a video with Captain Ron, on his photo channel. We used it. And I showed the exact recipe that I won ribs on there. And that's what I used. But, of course, I didn't have the product. I just mixed it myself. It wasn't out yet. And they, had to put it in a bottle and put it on the tops shelf. Like, I don't even know if it was in the show or not, because I haven't watched it over and over again.
Yeah.
But I knew where it was. I had to mix it and know where it was. And then I had to ask them to get Velveeta cheese for me. I said, I'm going to make macaroni and cheese, but I got to have Velveeta.
Gotta have that liquid gold.
Yeah.
That liquid gold,
And they were
right?
like, really? I'm like, real. I mean, I put other stuff in it, but yeah, I gotta have that. They were like, all righty.
So this is a really good one, especially a really good question for you, Tina, because
Okay.
you you do your own whole hog class at your house that you've started. You
Uh-huh.
do big. You still do the big green egg classes, correct?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do those at the Big Green Egg Culinary Center that
Hmm.
they have on the north side of Atlanta, or I'll do them here. And then I do private classes also.
Yeah, yeah.
Some
So
people are comfortable in that atmosphere. And I like hands-on anyway. To me, I learn by doing, not by going.
hmm
That's right.
yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So I like to do it.
So, Tina, our family is big on teaching our 4 children how to cook, butcher, garden, bake, etc. Any pointers on how to elevate the process of them learning more?
Oh Lord. Well, he said he lets them help do it.
Mhm.
Let them create the menu with what they know is available in the garden. Like say, it's just starting now. I don't know where he lives, but say you got a bumper crop of tomatoes or peppers or whatever.
Hmm.
Let them do the menu, pick it, prep it, make it, like all the way. Not just, okay, we're going to do this right now. We're going to do
Hmm.
this right now. Do the whole meal and let them be involved in planning it. I don't have kids, but I do work with a lot of children's groups. I volunteer at the local culinary school, and matter of
Hmm.
fact, tomorrow I'm going to go. I'm under Kiwanis, but I'm going to a group called the Builders Group in a local uh, elementary school tomorrow, fifth graders. I'm going to talk with.
Oh man, how
Yeah.
cool!
So I did. I'm like the Pied Piper with kids. I don't know, but they all like me.
I
Dogs
don't
and
get it
kids
either.
love me. But
I don't
that would
get
probably
it.
be what I would suggest, because when I have kids come here, I show them like what you can pick and what
Yeah.
can you make with this, and then
Yeah,
do it, because I think kids learn by doing it too, rather
Mhm.
than because they're
yeah.
used to
Yep.
tuning half.
And I think what you're saying is have them do like almost be a hands off, just telling them what to do
Uh-huh,
because
That's right.
they
uh-huh.
kids
Yeah, for
like to
safety
feel
reasons,
him.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't hand
So
them the
you go
butcher
in the
knife and
garden
say,
and you
yeah.
got, lettuce and you got
Hmm.
Yep.
tomatoes. I mean, you can, instead of a salad, do lettuce wraps and grill the chicken,
Hmm.
kind of
Mhm.
incorporate all that. And that
I know,
gets
like
them excited about doing it.
with the
Yeah.
grandbabies, they don't get me wrong, they love when I come over and cook steak and make a good dinner, whatever. But they also really the youngest one is so cool. She's even come and helped me butcher hogs and stuff, and it's like
Uh-huh.
she might not want to do it every time or this the
Uh-huh.
whole time or whatever, but she knows and she
Uh-huh.
knows. And like, because I let her touch it, wasn't just like, hey, watch this,
Uh-huh.
pay
Yep.
attention, you should know how
Yeah.
to do this. Like,
Yeah.
Mm.
I think it's
Yeah,
just a
people
big
don't
thing of
know where their food comes from anymore. You know, I'm sure a lot of people that are on and yourself, you've been to the grocery store and you're buying something and they don't know what it is.
Mhm.
They have
like
to,
they label it wrong and
yeah, or they
or
just, the code's not on it. They rutabaga. None of them know what that is. Turnip.
Nope.
They don't know what
yeah,
what is this lettuce? And it's like
Yeah.
mustard
Yeah.
greens or
yeah.
Yep.
God.
I
It happens every time I'm
Yeah.
at the store because I don't buy kind of traditional stuff. I like, ooh, this is
yeah,
good. I
same.
want that.
I have a lot of traditional things I make, but I also like I'll see something in a grocery store and I go, well, I've never seen that before. Like, let's see, let's check it out or whatever.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep rolling with the questions if that's all right,
Okay.
Tina.
Okay.
Our family talks about how we would love to see more women. And great question because it's International Women's Month, and we got Tina on because Wednesday's International Women's Day. Like, I forgot to, I fumbled all that in the opening, but yeah.
That's her.
Uh, our family often talks about how we'd love to see more women at all levels of barbecue. What may be done to increase more women asking for our daughters and the women in our life?
Shows like this, showing women that can do it. And, you know, I was a daddy's girl and a grandpa's girl.
Hmm.
My mom never cooked on a grill, ever.
Mhm.
But my dad did, and my grandfather did. and they took me out there and we just did it. We kind of bonded over it. And if things are not thought of as you're a girl doing it, just do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes people feel, or young ladies probably feel, is he going to let me do it? There's no let. Come on, let's go cook some burgers.
No, there's too much of that. Like, oh, he lets you. Oh, it's like, what
it's
do you
like
mean?
that and everything. Yeah,
it's so stupid.
But that's really I think the only way. I mean, it takes time. I mean, my mom would never in a million years. Now, if I go over there, she likes it. If I or if she comes over here, like I cooked those ribs when she was there, she was like, I love those. And so I think it's just more. Because sometimes like encouragement is great, but sometimes encouragement makes it seem like you're getting permission with parent. Mine would just be like, bring this out here, let's cook it. My dad never thought, I mean, he burnt everything. I think that's why I like everything with kind of a lot of char to this day. But I think maybe that would be a good idea. Does who asked that has daughters? I suppose.
I think he does the way he was asking it.
Yeah. Don't do it in permissive way. Just let's do it.
Hey, grab that steak. Let's go.
Hey, get that and grab that. And I'll light it. I'll see you out here in a minute. Don't even give it that. Don't give it anything.
So that's cool. One of my biggest pushes is to be in a position to teach the younger generation to learn the barbecue art and to help the less fortunate. Motivation right here, talking about what you do. It's
anybody can do something, because there's a group, and I'm not a member of it, but I know that there's a group that I'm very familiar with, Operation Barbecue Relief. And they do a lot of great things, and they need people all the time. If you don't, some people want to do something, but they don't know what to do. So sometimes just being part of an organization that does what you want to do. There's nothing wrong with that.
Or get a couple local guys that like to barbecue
or girls.
When I say guys, I mean like people. Sorry, I need to change that. No, I know you are. But get a group of people that like to barbecue and stuff, and then start having that conversation. Because going from having doing that, like me and my buddy got together and did a big barbecue cook yesterday at another buddy's house, and we could have had. You could do that exact same thing somewhere, and invite people, and it's nothing different. It's just now it's you're contributing to the further the knowledge and all that. So
exactly.
Tina, what's your ethos in life and or purpose that drives you to click on all cylinders as you seem to do so often? And I want to know too, because if you guys haven't been paying attention and calculating all the stuff she's got going on,
she has no downtime.
No, I don't. So tomorrow I got to be somewhere super early, cook 450 meals, go speak at that the young people's group, and then go back to Meals on Wheels. Come here, and I need to practice for this event I'm going to. So
crazy.
Maybe I'll sleep. I don't know. Ask a busy person. I'm so motivated by. I know this sounds weird, numbers. So I'm excited when I see that I've cooked 500 meals today.
Right.
I that's now that I've got that's my competition within myself. I can go. Well, I cooked 500 yesterday. Why can't I cook 550 today?
Right? Yeah.
So I think I'm motivated and stay busy because of that. I want to not necessarily do for me. I want to do for others.
That's right.
It's like,
hey, people smile. That's why I went into cooking. Think about people smile, whether you're whatever class of people you are, if you're living on the street or you're living in a high rise. Food does make people happy.
Yep.
And it brings joy, not only nourishment, but it brings a lot, brings people together. So that's what motivates me 100%, because I'm giving of myself the only thing I know how to do. That's all I know how to do. So I'm lucky I've been able to find an outlet to do that, to make people happy, and teaching. I take cooking and branch it out to all kinds of different things. But you know what? It's still the basic thing. We're just sitting at a table having something to eat, right?
Yeah.
That's
It's still just people breaking bread.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm throwing it all out there. Somebody's sick down the road. Your grandmother or your mother take a casserole, whatever. You know what I mean?
That's right.
I think that's kind of my culture here, and I'm just expanding it.
Well, and that used to happen. I remember that happening when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, there's all of a sudden families from the church or the neighborhood show up. Hey, we brought you this casserole. We heard your parents or your dad's not feeling good, or your mom's sick, or we heard the kids had the chicken pox. We brought you guys something, left it on the porch or whatever.
Or I know that a lot of times, now times have changed, safety reasons and things. But I was an only child for several years. So if, say, my mom was sick, because traditionally she was the cook, my neighbor would invite me over.
Yeah.
To eat. So nobody had to cook for me. And then they'd send a plate home, for the day. That was pretty common. But, I don't know what has made, because we still talk. We're on keyboards. You and I talk. We talk on the phone. We text. I don't know why we don't have that that kind of connection with each other anymore.
Yeah.
People say, well, it's not safe. Well, we're talking.
Yeah, I don't know. So real quick, from a good friend of ours, Dudette, she says, "You're an amazing woman. Nobody can replace that effort," and that is very true.
Thank you. I just hope I can keep it up.
No, you guys.
I don't see you slowing down anytime soon.
I got my mama's energy and my dad's heart.
Oh boy, nothing stops women from getting into anything. If they have the passion, it happens. And that's how it should be. If you're young, old, whatever, male, female, it doesn't matter. If you want to do it, life's too short to be miserable, man. Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Yeah. That's exactly right. It does. I like being able to do for other people.
That's a good feeling.
Yeah. Not because I want them to do anything bad.
Right. That's right.
So I've taken my small skill set and turned it big, like cooking. Because I don't, I'm not artistic. I'm not, I can't sing.
No.
No, like
ladies and gentlemen, she just lied to you. You want to see art? Oh, you got art for you right here. Tina, what is going on? I mean, I know that's a lobster. I'm guessing it's couscous.
Yeah, it's Israeli couscous. Yeah. That is a good dish. Well, I can cook, but I can't paint. I can't sing.
I knew what you meant, but
I'm too old to dance anymore.
Oh man, I wish I would have gotten a couple different videos. Now that is, you dance in the kitchen all the time.
I know. I meant, you know what I meant.
Well, I was gonna ask you when you was gonna be on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, Tina doesn't club dance anymore.
No, not anymore. That was in the 80s. No.
Oh man.
Let me tell you, I'm going to do something really weird. I'm actually have an injured foot.
Oh
no. And I'm still doing Oh well, just put those crutches over there.
Yeah, right. Okay. Sorry.
If any of my past students are listening, I actually hurt this. Let's see, I did a December 5th, I think it was. The first week of December was my winter class, and it was hurting then. And my doctor says, you probably need to not do anything. And I went,
nope,
what?
Not possible.
Nope.
So I'm still bandaged. If they're watching, it still hurts.
I'm trying to make sure I don't miss any comments from the crowd
But hey,
directed.
be sure y'all. Well, I guess people are listening to me. I answer all of my own emails and Instagram messages. Um, Facebook, I'm trying to do better at it. It got hacked, and I couldn't have complete access to all
Yeah,
my pages.
Facebook.
But I got it fixed today.
Yeah.
Finally, took me 3 months, but I got it fixed.
Hmm.
And so I answer all my own stuff. So if somebody we didn't get to them or something, if they write me, I'll answer it.
Yeah, and we're gonna go through and show your website,
Yeah.
Instagram, because that's
Well,
where you're most
everything's
active.
under Tina Cannon Cooks because
Yep.
I'm old and I can't remember it.
Hey, and Tina, just in case you notice, on the bottom ticker, we put the Hogs for the Cause on there for you.
Oh, good. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my team is Piggy Stardust.
Piggy Stardust. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we go from Barbecue 27 on Facebook. Tina,
Yes.
do you think that your background gives you an advantage against the other mentors on the show? Ooh, good
No.
question.
No. Because well, it could, but I think if you look what those people cut, no. I don't think so. Because if it's barbecue, they don't teach that in Paris. They just don't. And those are some skilled cooks. Go check them out. No, there's no.
So, that's funny that you bring that up because there's like a small part of me that wanted to be a chef my whole life, but I never went and got trained and never went to do anything. I've worked in a couple restaurants and was like, man, I hate that. But I wasn't the chef though, you know what I mean? And I did do prep, a lot of prep stuff for chefs and the stuff, pizza, different stuff at a Italian place one time. But I'm so jealous of the training that you have, and I have a buddy who went to school and stuff, but because like when I go to things, I've got to do all this research. Like, okay, pork and okay, what fruit goes? Okay, well, what vegetables? Like there are like cooks who have been through some of that training and who continue to work so in the field like you do. It's just like, oh, well, compare with that, this, that.
It's like it's actually like if you're a painter, this color and that color makes that. This is how you shade. It's just, like, how old I am. I said I was, and I've been doing this since I was 17. So,
yeah. Serious training.
It just because, but I'm going to tell you something that I've never, God, I can't believe I'm just spilling my guts here. Only reason I went to culinary school twice, Europe and US, is because I love to cook. And back in 1980 and 81, they didn't hire women. I know that sounds weird, but they didn't. So I thought, well, if I get a degree, they'll hire me, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, so then I decided to get a U.S. degree because they said they didn't recognize European degrees. And that's like in 83. And they didn't hire women. You could be a server.
Right.
You could clean
you could be the hostess out front.
You could be the hostess. Yeah. So I said, well, I'm just going to go to American Culinary School. And I did. And I graduated with honors there too. And I know this is going to sound cliche because I was on the channel, but it has nothing to do with that because that wasn't as wonderful as experience as I hoped to be. But I think Food Network helped because I know young men that didn't know women. I had so many, I didn't know women could do that. And I'm not saying they're bad. If you don't experience it, you don't know. And that is why I went to culinary school. That's sad, isn't it?
Yeah. And what's crazy they told you we don't recognize that is like the only people we talk about and like, oh, were they classically trained? And when they say classically, they mean French.
Right. So, and things change. Food has changed the way it's cooked because of the way it's grown. Back then, like a chicken in Europe
Oh
is
yeah.
like a chicken scratching in your yard that you're not feeding commercial food.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever buy like Cook's Venture or some chicken I've used before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember, I don't know if you're familiar with that brand. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but
No,
that's the
but
only
I
one
remember
offhand.
you. Yeah.
I did a few things just
Mm-hmm.
to, it has a different flavor. It cooks differently than you go to the local grocery store. So the way people cook now is very different than 20 years ago
Mm-hmm.
because of all of the chemicals or whatever you want to call it and preservatives that's put in the meat you go to the grocery store and buy. Chickens don't get 8 pounds and 6 pounds. They don't.
Do
Not,
not.
you know.
Yeah.
So I never saw that many years ago a chicken that big. I mean,
Yeah.
they were bigger than a Cornish hen, but they would be like this. Now you go get a freaking, they're that
Oh,
big.
they're like, is that
Hmm.
just a small turkey?
Or like bones, for instance, now you can take your kitchen shears. You could probably take scissors that you use to wrap your Christmas gifts with.
Yeah.
And you can cut through a bone.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't do that back
Oh,
because
my
they,
chicken's out back? Not
yeah,
those words. No
yeah,
way.
because they're grown. They're not, they're not
Mm-hmm.
grown in 2 months.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so
So
the bone splinters. So if you
that
notice
is
bone
so
splinter,
crazy.
yeah, and it's a big difference now. So the way
Mm-hmm.
cooks cook now, as far as the speed, I'm not saying everybody. Y'all don't get any keyboard warriors. I'm just talking about general grocery store food that people eat now. That is the big, big difference. For instance,
Mm-hmm.
remember when we were younger, your mama probably made pot roast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Do you remember that round bone that was always in it?
Always, every
Mm-hmm.
single time. Where to
Go
go?
find one now.
Yeah.
You're not gonna.
Valid.
Mhm. So just in the way they butcher animals now is very different from
Very
is
different.
different,
Yeah.
and what they call things is different
Mm-hmm.
because of the way the butchering technique. So it's very different than what I cooked back then than what I cook
Mm-hmm.
now. Very different,
Hmm.
and that's just some examples people at home can see. Try to go cut a chicken bone, and if you could get a real one, try to cut that. You'd have
Yeah,
to
for
cleaver
real.
it. You remember old
Yeah.
movies? They're cleavering chickens, and
Yep.
now you cut it.
Yeah, that's why
True.
you see it like in all the old school Asian markets and stuff. He's just hacking the ducks and
Uh-huh.
chickens with a big old
Mm-hmm.
cleaver because it works.
Because you can't cut it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly right. So just in my lifetime, that's how much it's changed. The last 20 years would be probably the most to me, as far as the way they're raised and how long that they're actually, in a pen, how long they're in a feeding pen,
Yep.
things
Mm-hmm.
very,
True.
very
Yeah.
different. And it tastes different. Like that chicken I was telling you about the cook's been. My mom,
Mm-hmm.
she's one of these that typically only eats the chicken breast,
Yeah,
She
yeah.
said it had she called it a stringy texture. I didn't find it stringy, but I found it more flavorful. But the
Yes.
texture is different. It's like if you go to Brazil, like really to Brazil or even Mexico, when they eat, their meat is more naturally grown, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It has more chew to it. Americans want to be able to cut it with a fork.
Yeah, well, like the
That's
pigs that
true.
we butcher, we know the farm, we know the food, we know all this stuff, and
Mhm.
it's very different than the pork I buy in the store.
Yeah.
And it's grown right here. Like it's not like it comes from some other country. There's no mysteriousness to it. It's just
Mhm.
a little bit better taken care of,
Yeah.
in
And
my
it
opinion
shows
or
in the
whatever.
flavor and the color of
Hmm.
the meat.
Yep. Pork will actually get redder like beef when it's really, really good.
Yeah,
So,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Because I used to compete with a brand that was much darker. I remember the
hmm
first time I used it, it was like, you know,
did
wow.
they send me the wrong piece of meat?
But
So,
it's better. I see. Who is that?
Tina said T Carmex said, Tina, thanks for thinking just like our family does. It's amazing to know how knowledgeable you are and how down to earth you are.
Oh,
We
thank
love
you.
you more for this.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah,
I
see,
think I'm following you.
that's another reason. No, he's a mystery.
Yeah,
He's a freaking mystery.
Okay.
He's like one of the biggest fans. He supports everybody, but he's real elusive. He's very private, and we like it. I like it that way. It makes it more fun. But yeah, that's another reason why we thought this show would be really cool is because there's a lot of people who don't think they can cook or I could never cook like that. Like that's way too hard, and it's really not. It's really just putting stuff and I could, how could I ever get hey, Tina's just a regular person. She cooks in her backyard on grills, she does a lot of stuff with her skill set, yes. But I'm just saying she's just a regular down to earth person.
100.
Just sitting here in a chair.
Mm-hmm.
This was my daddy's chair.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry. T Carmack is like a legend. There's actually, I'm gonna go back to this real quick because there was a whole mess of it. The whole audience here was going off about rutabagas. Rutabagas rock when done correctly. Tina, run us through rutabagas. I've never cooked one. I don't know if I've ever eaten one. So send us through how to make a good rutabaga.
A stronger tasting root vegetable. When you cook it, it's more of an orange color. Like not orange like a carrot, but more rusty orange. You would just it does to me. It doesn't taste like anything else. But I do use my Instapot now because they're like that. The hardest thing about them is peeling them. My dog loves them raw. I think when I was cooking them for the holiday, I'm giving them to him, the thing.
Oh,
but
my dog's,
I use my seasoning in it.
There it is, people. That's how you make a good
I really do. And, the typical, like the Southern way, they'll use like some type of salt pork or pork, drippings and some, I think my papa just used water. And he'd chop onions in it, and he'd just boil the heck out of them and add salt.
You got to boil
and they were good. I grew up having them that way. Yeah. Whereas I didn't realize, my husband's from New Jersey, and his mother would make them like mashed potatoes. Whip them. And I actually had never had them that way until, I had met him, and I actually like them that way too. The cream and the butter and the salt.
Yeah.
Pepper, just like mashed potatoes. But you just have to boil them until they get soft. But you have to get that peel off. And because of the storage technique, they're waxed on the outside, to keep them fresh. And they're like a winter vegetable, but you should get some if you like. Have you ever had a turnip?
Oh yeah.
Same kind of texture. I love it.
I mean, turnip's just like kind of like a radish, just less spicy.
Yeah. I would say though,
a little different.
Rutabaga has a little bit of a bitter note to it, depending on how old they are. They've been stored a long time; they get more bitter. It's kind of like Scotch; it's an acquired taste. If you ever come here, I'll fix it.
I'm okay. I am gonna make it out there. I will make it out for a whole hog class one day. I promise you that. Once I'm super famous, I can travel all over the world. That's happening. I'm going to all the cool people, and I'm gonna learn how to cook like them. All right, Tina, what are your thoughts on the ongoing inclusion of science in cooking with chefs, cooks, grill masters, blah blah, nowadays versus decades ago when science wasn't as prominent?
Gosh, I won't knock it because, there's always a progression, just like, the way things are prepped, or as you get introduced to different types of food, you try it, right? The molecular, he's probably referring to like cooking with hydrogen and all the molecular.
That shit's so crazy to me, man.
I think we'll look at Dippin' Dots. I mean, that was created that way.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I didn't even think about that.
Excuse me. I don't mind it at all. What I don't like is the chemical processing and like the creating of something that's not real.
Exactly.
Because just doing that and applying that's real. You're just I love like when you take something and turn it into something else and then you taste it. And it tastes like, it looks like this, like pearls, and it's actually something else.
Yeah, it's a
I think it's
blueberry or
kind of
whatever.
cool, and
Yeah,
it's like an experience.
yeah,
Just like, ooh, ice cream, whatever.
yeah.
It's not something you would do every day. I would enjoy it like if it was a special occasion, but I'm not gonna pop out, hydrogen tanks and stuff here at the house.
There she is, Kimmy Johns. Mrs. Johnsy says hi, Tina.
Well, hello.
There's the wifey.
Yeah, I'm in the works, Miss Johnsy, of trying to come up with a couple other products. A barbecue, believe it or not, a barbecue sauce, and
No way.
we're doing some tasting on that. And then
Mm-hmm.
I already have a blend that's like a seafood boil, but I got to be careful about naming it so I don't mess up like my brine. It can be a seasoning for a boil. So I got to come up with that. I've already got the recipe set. You don't need a market for it. You keep coming out with stuff. You got to sell a lot of your other stuff first. You buy something. And remember, it goes to Meals on Wheels. The money, profit. So not my
I
fault.
forgot to mention that. Yeah. Sorry.
So y'all get on TinaCannonCooks.com and get you some. There's a deal right now, John. Did you see you get all 3 products?
I did not see that yet.
Yeah, there's 3. I think $29.99 plus shipping, of course.
Yeah,
and I don't know if anybody's local. If you're local, I always keep some here and at my Meals on Wheels office and my mom's house.
Here, look. Customer review right here. I use Tina seasoning on everything.
Oh, well, thank you.
I seriously get in trouble if it gets low and I haven't ordered more.
Oh my God.
That's a fact. And the bird brine is delicious, and I used it on pork as a seasoning, not as a brine. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it has a lot of different notes in it too. Did you notice the flavor profile of it? Did you like it?
I do, but that's what I mean. Like, I don't think about it like I'm like, wow, there's some good seasoning in there. That's all I think about. I don't know how to what's that? There's some of that in there.
Pick out a different one.
Yeah,
I love when I open that bag of the brine. I just keep it in a shaker on my counter. But I actually have used that in rutabagas too. Instead of salt, it's actually good in that. It's good. And I make a. You know what scallop potatoes are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll make the same basic, not the cheese, but just the white sauce. I'll make turnips, slice them thin, and do like a gratin. And I use, instead of salt, I'll use my brine.
Hey, listen, we do a lot. I do a lot of pastas, different stuff like that, and we like white cream sauce stuff like that. And
how about seafood?
I love seafood.
Have you put it with that?
Yeah, I did shrimp with. I was like 3 different times with just not your brine. I didn't have the brine when I did the shrimp.
The European
but
blend. It's good. It's good, like on halibut, just simply grilled. I did a video the other day. I haven't posted it because I hadn't had quite the time to edit it. I've been kind of busy. But I did a version of halibut on my egg, and I used my seasoning. It was halibut, y'all, and it's not like I'm trying to say I'm talking to like you, Johnsy. Now, y'all, it was.
No, I'm not like out here pushing. Yeah. I mean, I am for you. I get no benefit. I'm not an ambassador.
It was so simple. I took some little. I'll tell you how I made it. I have these little Lodge cast iron little.
Oh, little pan, the little pan.
Yeah, they're like individual. So I cut the halibut, to fit that. I put a tablespoon of butter in the bottom of it, then a little bit of my seasoning. Then I put the halibut on top, kosher salted because remember it doesn't have hardly any salt, and heavily put it on there. Put it on my big green egg at like 400. When it just started to cook, I was having a glass of wine. I thought, now this is just something I came. Since I was eating it, I can take my wine out of my glass and put it on there. So y'all do this. Anyway, so I put, once it was almost done, I hit it with some of the wine. And I was drinking like a Chardonnay or is it a Riesling? Anyway, just to let it finish poaching. And once it hit the proper temperature, whatever you like your fish at, some people like it more cooked, whatever. But y'all, it's on my roster now. Is it?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
You could do it with any, you could do it with sea bass too. I just love halibut. And
I love halibut.
I got it from Get Maine Lobster.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
And I ordered it from there, and I got like a pound, which was enough to cut like in 4 of those little. Oh my god, y'all! It was so good. And I left the skin on it because that makes the sauce, the flavor. It's easily peeled off. It comes right off. But then I took the little carafe, the little dish, and poured that over the fish. I think I had it with rice, and I don't remember what else. I'll edit that video and put it on my YouTube. I don't get a lot of views on YouTube because I'm just kind of learning more about it.
YouTube is a bitter, cold-hearted BZ. I'm telling you.
I get random
it's
views
a rough one.
if it's a minute or less, but if you do it like a minute, 3 seconds, forget it. I ain't watching it.
That's right.
They're like, how rude of you. You're like, sorry.
So I'm trying to do things shorter. So y'all, since I didn't tell Tony this, do y'all want to hear my other announcement?
Yes.
And then I'm probably at my time where I got to go. So Tony might know this because I hinted to him, but I am the first ever, like, I know when people say ambassador, that's this, they called it an ambassador, but I am representing for 1 year now. It's going to be, guess who it is? Guess.
Swift.
Yes.
No.
Shut up. Oh.
No, I guessed.
No.
Because I mean,
a whole year.
I know you done it last year, so I was just
you know what I did, tailgate. But that was just like the games and like little videos. You did just the tailgate. This is going to be. Matter of fact, I got to send one tomorrow. I'm going to be doing some recipes for them, and then once they edit them and do what they want to do, it'll be weekly. There'll be a weekly video.
Something else I add to your calendar.
I hadn't told anybody but my mom and my husband.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Yeah,
hey, you heard her here first on the Dude Network.
Exclusive.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about it. So the rib recipe that I told you I did, that was their ribs.
The Swift
ribs.
And literally, and when I go to Hogs for calls, even though I'm going to buy them, they're not giving them to me.
Yeah.
I'm actually competing with their meats there.
That's usually who when I look for ribs, I grab the Swift packages because it's going to be way better than anything that the butchers put out.
And you can get them at
foam packs.
And you can get them at Costco.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like the folks, like I hear all the time, people are like, "Oh, I want to do stuff with pork belly." Get to Costco. The Swift pork belly is massive.
Yeah, I've got one in my freezer now. My Bobby went the other day.
Yeah.
He was at Costco and he said pork bellies. And I love pork belly. I'm gonna cook that one whole, but I usually get a pork belly and I will cut it, in a few pieces.
Yes, yeah.
So I can, because it's just the two of us.
Right.
But I'm gonna cook that one whole. I'm gonna work it in my schedule.
Yeah. So real quick before we get out of here, let's I want to I forgot to push the button real quick. I want to show everybody where they can find you.
Oh, okay.
I know we showed everybody the seasoning on here, but this is Tina's website where you can find everything. She's got recipes, Tina's tips, videos, classes, everything you need to follow and keep along with Tina and find her seasonings is right here on her website.
Yeah.
This is where she's super active. This is where you see all the Tina live action is on her Instagram.
Yeah.
So follow Tina on Instagram if you guys are on Instagram. And like she said, she responds and talks to everybody. And then here is Tina's YouTube. It would definitely help her out if everybody went and gave her a
It
like, share, and
sure would.
follow everywhere,
Mhm.
especially on YouTube. I know that because
I'm
that's how it
trying to
works.
grow it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I put, a lot of and I'm on TikTok too.
Yeah, and that's why I put
Can you
down here.
believe me? My age and I'm on TikTok. Oh,
Yeah, she's one of the cool kids. That's why I put down
Yes.
in the bottom ticker on all social media. If you can't
yeah,
find her as Tina Cannon, it's Tina Cannon Cooks
yeah.
That's
on
right.
everything. Twitter.
Google me, but some of
Yeah.
that stuff was in the 80s. Y'all don't even, yeah.
Just ignore that part.
No, I mean she's been
You know.
in the game for a long, long time, killing it. And I know I'm not like, oh, she's all long. She's just been around showing people what's up for a while now.
I'm old.
Yeah, everybody's saying congratulations for your new stuff.
Oh, I know. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
When they wrote me the message, it said, "Congratulations on being the first," and they called it ambassador. And ambassador, in their terms, is very different than give me
Yeah,
a
what
year.
we
I'm
call
your
it. Yeah.
ambassador. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a big deal. I
It's
mean, I
legit.
am. Do y'all know how big Swift is?
Yes.
Huge.
I was like,
Huge.
me?
You're like, wait,
Okay.
did they send this to the right person? Oh
Yeah,
shit,
I
yeah,
was like,
Tina
yeah.
Cannon.
It
Oh
did say
boy.
Tina
Tina.
Cannon Cooks. Yep, Tina at Tina Cannon Cooks. Yep, that's me. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like so excited. I was doing something illegal when I read it. I was driving. I was in a red light. And I went, Swift, what's that? So I called my mom and I was like bumbling. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? She said, well, they just gonna give you meat or something. I'm like, Mom, this is like a big deal. I'm gonna get to do 52
Yeah.
videos for them.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I know. I'm
And
super
that's
excited.
awesome for Swift because you just booked yourself a banger. Good looking on
Yes.
Swift. You
Yeah.
were smart to pick that one up.
I'm just super excited, really.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that I follow
Hmm.
that work with lots of brands but I use their stuff anyway, so it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people that, oh, if you send me something, I'm gonna, if
Yeah.
I use it and I talk about it, it's because I use it and I talk
Yes.
about it,
Mhm.
Yeah.
not because I'm, to me.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm not a hooer for just free stuff.
No,
I'm not that. Yeah.
Nope.
I get stuff literally mailed all the time.
Oh,
So.
I'm sure.
Oh, I gotta tell y'all one more thing. Do
Okay.
you know you saw the other day that I was at our Capitol, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And right there Myron was there. He's a trip. Anyway,
He is.
we're right
We
there
love
with
that old
our
bastard.
governor in the Capitol, and we got declared, and they're gonna. It goes on the legislative floor to be signed on the 25th. If I'm back from filming, because that's our rain day, I'll
Mhm.
go there to see the legislature. The governor already signed it, and then they have to, put it on the floor and hammer
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
song and dance.
Go
And
through all the yes,
I'm
yeah.
hoping that,
Song and
but
dance, exactly.
you hear all those food days, right? Oh, it's
Hmm.
National Beer Day, whatever, which was just a Saturday. But see, we're going to do something with this being Georgia Barbecue Day. It's going to
Oh
be
no way.
they've already formed a charity or CO53, whatever that is, a
Right.
charity, and
I
going to
can't
try to
remember what
get
it's.
tags like for the
Yeah.
car, and actually all the money will go to the charity to help. Of course, it's going to help with food
Hmm.
security issues.
Yeah.
Not for anybody's pockets.
Yeah.
So that's
Yes.
why it was such a big deal to get it done. And Riley, which is heading that up, a lot of people in the barbecue world know him, has been heading that up. And luckily,
That's
he
a
called some
big
key
deal.
people in Georgia to come and be
Yeah.
there. I did a short video. There'd be a lot of people there, and it was like really, really cool to get to go and see that happen in
Yeah.
the grassroots stages of it. We had to get it approved first
Hmm.
and get it signed before we can do all the other stuff. The charity is already formed. All that's now. It's just getting all the stuff to, continue to promote it. You know. to, and food insecurity is terrible. So in this state, or as well as y'all state. So, we want to make sure that it goes to that type of thing, not just
which that's a big
like
deal
that.
that's a big deal in politics, to get it all to a charity and not someone getting something
Yeah.
somewhere. So
Right.
that's
Right.
awesome.
And he signed it. That was it. Talked with us as a group in there. I mean, it wasn't like, well, you do this and I do,
Yeah.
Right.
It wasn't anything like that. So I'm really thrilled to have been able to be there at the start of it.
So Georgia have a National Barbecue Day.
Yeah, well, it's just Georgia because national is something that's just
sorry, you're right. Yeah, it would just be
a
Georgia's
charity
Barbecue
that's
Day.
gonna start,
Yeah,
and the official day will be March 25th.
Hey, let's go.
That's
That's
awesome.
cool.
Yeah. Woohoo! All right.
Man,
Now I think I've spilled my guts. Now
she's giving
God,
away
I
all
need
the
some water and
secrets.
Tylenol.
Well, Tina, I know you got tons of stuff going on tomorrow. I know it's late over there. So we really appreciate you coming
Thank
on.
you.
Well, thank you.
Everybody, go get at Tina. Go, guys. I'm telling you, try her seasonings. I have not tried the pepper sauce yet because that's my next order. But I'm telling you that European brand will replace a lot of things in your cabinet. It just will, because in ease of one bottle, done.
And you notice it doesn't taste the same. Didn't you tell me that one time? You can put it on mashed potatoes and then put it on your steak.
Yeah. So I put it on pork.
Yeah.
And it has like this really herby, like just a herb crusted pork flavor, and then it replaces my seasoning in all my creamy pastas, and it's not even an Italian blend.
No,
So
it's not.
I'll add some
how
fresh
it
basil.
Taste the same on everything.
Yes.
It's almost like certain things bring it out. That's like the beauty of it. You can put other seasonings, and if you put it on all your corn and your meat and your potato, whatever,
That's right.
it kind of all tastes the same. And that actually is something that a mistake that novice cooks make, is everything kind of tastes the same because they don't know what to use. I mean, how would you know? So it's kind of a good cheat because it doesn't taste the same on everything.
Yeah, that's a good point. I had to learn, like, cut sweet with acid, cut savory with this, and that took me. Otherwise, we'd all be 4 bites into a meal going.
Yes.
I mean, you can put an acid with it, like it's great with lemon zest, even tossed with pasta. Or if you want to put it with something a little more rich and savory, beef or sweet potatoes, it's great on like a sweet. So it's real versatile. It really is. I just got to get the world to know.
That's the problem with all the good stuff. That's what I try and tell people with Willows, with your seasoning. It's like, dude, I promise, if you just taste it, you're not going to be mad at me.
Yeah.
You're going to
you're going to be like, thank you. Yeah. I like the Willow Memphis and the sweet heat. Those I haven't. I'm going to use the lime one in my free time, and I'm going to try it on some flank steak.
I don't know what to say about that Memphis, man. That stuff's too good.
It's good. Yeah.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sticking around. Tina, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. You're the original dudette. You're always welcome on the network. You know that.
Well, next time will be after I film the show, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll have to. Yeah, we're not going to try and book you. We won't do that to you. But we'll pick up. Yeah, we'll catch you at the tail end when you can tell us all about it. You've got a time to settle down. We'll get you back on, and you can spill all the beans about that.
I will.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody have a good weekend. Good week. Well, weekend's over. I'm sorry. Hope you had a good weekend. Have a great week, and we'll see you for Thursday and Friday next week.